organization. I've already started my recording. Thank you so much for understanding and the cooperation over here. A few of you requested for recording, and I just denied it for this specific reason. Okay, awesome. I'll get started with few theoretical concepts just to make sure that we understand what is what, and then we will get started. Hi, dear. So let's go through some theoretical understanding over here for 5, 10, 15 minutes around what is AI all about. And then I will show you some practical use cases in terms of how we can use artificial intelligence within the organization. Like, let's say, for example, implementing secured Azure AI within the organization. How do you actually handcraft your AI solution for specific objectives, right? I don't want to keep a lot of theory in the class, but it's still quite important to make sure that you got the theoretical framework understanding in terms of, right? So just to get started over here, our human brain processes information through how we hear, how we feel, what do we taste, and what do we touch, right? Based on these cortical columns, the brain actually processes the information and lets you to decide what exactly needs to be done. If you ask me what exactly is artificial intelligence, you're trying to augment the same exact role with an artificial machine, which could augment like a human being or very close to a human being. Let's say, for example, you could augment this brain to think and work like a tax consultant, helping you to declare the tax benefits for the financial year. You could augment the brain to think and work like a project manager and help you to find out all the risks in a specific project. You could augment the brain to think like a sales specialist and integrate it with WhatsApp so that you don't have to respond to your customer queries and you could automatically get answers, right? So lately we have implemented in TeamAcademy a WhatsApp bot. Any people who are asking questions to the TeamAcademy bot, technically it's not a human brain which is actually responding to it. We got like bots where the AI is completely responding end to end, right? I'll share these links with you so that you can test it out. In essentially, what is artificial intelligence? It is the capability of human to mimic the human capabilities, augment the roles, and make the machine to do the work on behalf of you. So that it can actually go ahead and get the tasks done on behalf of you, right? You may make it 100% automated like in a sales scenario, or you could use the brain like a personal assistant which can help you with data analytics, as a personal assistant to help you with risk analysis, as a personal assistant for you to help you with PowerPoint presentation, as a personal assistant for you to help you with a couple of other tasks. Let's say I have been implementing, I'm an AI engineer for the last I would say 7 years, even before ChatGPT came into picture. I started my career with IBM, moved to Microsoft, and I lately work with Qatar Airways, in which we have implemented artificial intelligence to predict the flight price ticket based on known variables, right? At that point in time, when I was implementing in Qatar Airways, AI was like a technology that is only proprietorship for the IT people. As long as you don't have the IT knowledge, you don't have the coding knowledge, you might not be able to implement a lot of IT solutions which might exist over there, right? But in today's scenario, you are able to augment the same exact capabilities of AI without any big coding capabilities. So this program is completely code-free. You would learn the essentials of how do you get started with AI, and how do you actually go ahead and augment AI for different procedures, different protocols, right? I'll start off with a few examples, rather than the theory. I'll start off with few examples so that you can understand what is the possibilities of AI, right? You could see here that we created, we as Team Academy, we got like a couple of problems in the way how we fulfill the students, how we manage the inventory, how do we actually manage the students, right? For example, over here, this is actually called as a simple Team Academy dataset Jenny. Okay, the problem statement is that most of our students who have been attending data science program, AI business practitioner program, they wanted to practice on different data sets to augment an AI bot, to learn how exactly AI could be done. And they've been asking me questions. Dinesh, can you please provide me a data set for finance? Can you please provide me a data set for human resource? Can you please provide me a data set for financial accounting? And I had to actually find this out every time and give it to them, right? So what I did in order to actually automate this process, I created a very simple custom GPT. Please note that we are using OpenAI, ChatGPT, and Microsoft Azure as part of the whole training program. I would clearly differentiate for you when to use what type of technology. And please note that we are not talking about the top 10 products that exist in the market and make you pay so much of money and you don't get that intended outcomes. Rather, we are talking about how you could prove a business case study within your organization to implement secured AI so that you can use artificial intelligence for sorting your documents, for doing risk analysis on your documents, to create a repository to guide you through the project, or let's say implementing a marketing or a HR sales bot, right? So we are going to talk about specifically AI implementation within your organization. So we will be discussing in detail about how do you tailor the large language model for a specific context. As you could see over here, when I just said hi, I did not get a message which is related to a common AI. Are you looking for data sets related to AI or Power BI? Let's say, for example, I'm looking for data sets related to Power BI. Now, again, the AI is building up a conversation over here. In Power BI, what topic would you like to go ahead and get the data set? Let's say, for instance, I type here Power Query. Now, you could see that this is actually the conversational design, right? The next question that the bot is asking me, can you let me know from which department you come from? Let's say I'm coming from financial analysis, right? The moment I give all these conversations, assuming that I'm an end user as a Team Academy student, I just give a preference over here that I need Excel sheet specific for financial accounting. You could see here that perfect. I'm generating a financial analysis data set in Excel format for you to use with the data set over here. And I could download this data set and get started with the Power Query exercise, right? So is it artificial intelligence on a large space within ChatGPT? The answer is no. It is a specific bot that is only exclusive to Team Academy to satisfy the students' process. Likewise, what we do as a certified AI business practitioner is that we initially understand. I would be very clear with the program roadmap, as in what exactly you would learn as part of the program roadmap, and how do you get started, right? So the first important thing that we will learn here as part of the program objectives is how do you use AI prompt engineering? Okay, so when we mean by prompt engineering, I'm talking about I'm a professional and I wanted to actually use artificial intelligence for different purposes. It could be a fact that I can't understand what is HCM and LCM. I'm not able to teach my daughter about how the HCM and LCM works. You could take a simple screenshot of the book message and get some answers from the GPT. This is all about how do we get started with basic prompt. The basic prompts are really basics and you could get started very easily, right? Anyway, we start with the class with the basic prompts in terms of what is called as a large language model and how exactly this large language model could be prompted with some basic conditions, right? I would say this is your first module to getting to use AI in the right and in the best practices manner. Let's say, for example, if I want to ask a basic questions, I would get started with prompt engineering. I will go for more detailed prompting, like let's say, for example, what is called as variable prompt prompting, what is called as contextual prompting, what is called as instruction-based prompting, what is called as data-based prompting. Let's say, for instance, what is persona-based prompting? These all things are part of the first objective. I want to utilize AI in the best interest of my personal productivity. Once you're good with your personal productivity, we will move on to the business application side of it, right? If I have to give you an example over here about how you could use AI for your personal productivity, let's say I got a simple balance sheet over here, and I want to decode this balance sheet with a good amount of details. Let's say I go to my TeamAcademy library. You guys will all get access to this Artificial Intelligence Business Practitioner Learning Management System portal, in which we have already augmented a lot of personas, which means that you could tailor the large language model specific to your objectives. Let's say, for instance, my objective is actually to do financial accounting. I can tailor the large language model specifically to think and work like a financial analyst. For example, over here, as a financial planner, what could I do? I could go to my AI. I could go ahead and customize my AI. Guys, I will place you on mute and I would entertain all your questions. And Kamalaksh, I would explain you in detail about what is the difference between an AI agent and what is a chatbot. And I would also give you good clarity in terms of how do you deploy it within your organization in a secured manner using Azure, and how exactly the implementation steps goes forward as part of the training program. Guys, I'm starting from the very basic fundamentals, and then I will take you through the bird's eye overview of all the advanced concepts that we will be discussing in the class. I would appreciate you hosting the questions in the chat window, so that it is easy for me to consolidate similar questions and give you appropriate answers. The first step that over here, and also most importantly, I would place everybody in mute because I do hear a little bit of distraction from the background noise that you have, right? The first step that I would do here is about customizing the large language model. Please note that when you make the large language model to be customized, what is called as a large language model. Okay, we got artificial intelligence developed with about 186 billion parameters. Okay, what do I mean by 186 billion parameters? It is like the probability and combinations of 186 billion different strokes have been given for the large language model to answer any questions that you might ask. And because of this vast capability, AI is also becoming meaningless in some of the contexts. If you ask a question that's not really specific and objective, you might get answers all across the place, right? If you make the AI specific, tailored, and focused, you would get beautiful results, and you can automate your business process as well. That's the whole idea of your prompt engineering. Let's say, for instance, over here, I got a specific balance sheet. I wanted to understand how this balance sheet could be decoded. Let's say, for example, I choose all these data set over here, or I upload a simple balance sheet. I've already augmented the AI to think and work like a financial planner, to work like a financial consultant. Can you go ahead, decode this balance sheet, and prepare KPIs based on IFRS standards? Let's give a very simple example over here. So when I actually copy paste my balance sheet and I give a persona which is specific to financial planner and financial analyst, what it does is it thinks through, it goes and it actually takes all these financial, the balance sheet, and converts it into IFRS standard KPI. What I assume, and I make the bot to think and work like a consultant, right? So guys, you could see here that the bot is actually taking a lot of time to process this information. The reason is because you got this model which is actually called as O1 preview. Okay, like this, there are many different models that exist in OpenAI, Microsoft, with Meta and with different other platforms. I will give you an understanding of what is called as large language model and how do you need to tailor the large language model for specific analysis, right? So you could see here that I got my current ratios by uploading my balance sheet, augmenting my large language model to think and respond like a financial consultant, right? So now I got my very clean KPI indicators. So can you use artificial intelligence for data analytics? The answer is yes. Can you predict the outcomes based on the past data? The answer is yes. We will slowly learn all these prompting techniques more in detail. What is called as persona-based prompting? How do you take the personas from the TeamAcademy AI library? How do you tailor your large language model to specific objectives and instances? Please note that this is the first objective of the training program. You would learn only the prompt engineering part of it, right? Just the prompt engineering part of it is also quite important. You may upload an image and ask a question. You may upload a document and ask a question. You may have to give contextual reference to, let's say, for example, think like an IFRS consultant, upload all your IFRS related documents, or think like a project manager, upload all the project management, PMBOK guides and all these different aspects. The bot gets prepared, tailored, and thinks specifically like that designated specialty person, right? So this is where we get started in terms of the program. How do you actually, how do you augment your AI for different types of scenarios, and how do you actually get the library access and make sure you learn what is the basic step, which is what we refer to as prompting. So this is the first in the lesson plan, guys. Prompt engineering for business users. How do you come up with instructional prompts? How do you come up with persona-based prompts? How do you come up with number-based prompts, variable prompting, and a lot of other scenarios? I would not use a lot of abbreviations, but let's say in the class, we will learn what it actually means in different scenarios, right? And we will get started with implementing each of these. You would also learn how to use AI-based prompting for image-based conversion. Like, let's say, for example, I'm the health and safety officer, or I'm a simple construction manager within my firm. I would like to go ahead and make sure that I wanted to decode the image from a specific data set. Let's say, for example, can you calculate the dimensions of the uploaded image? Now you could see here that what AI does is that it goes and reads through your architecture diagram, looks at each and every size of this specific image, and it comes up with a plan for you in terms of what is your room dimension, what is the architecture over here. And let's say, for example, if you want to ask a follow-up question in terms of how do I plan for my BOQ and things like that, you could follow up with the questions as well. When you give more tailored and specific prompts with personas, the answers gets even better. I could actually take an image of a construction site, upload it in AI to ask a question, what is the threats that is being faced over here as a health and safety officer? And AI decodes all the health and safety related hazards and gives you the pointers in terms of what is working well and what is not working well, right? Guys, please note that all of these things are about prompt engineering. Do note the first important module is about prompt engineering. Once we complete prompt engineering, what we do is we learn how exactly to build artificial intelligence bot within your organization. For example, in my company, I've implemented an agent which is actually called a Tail, okay? And this agent is like kind of being in the testing mode where we integrate it with
AI agent.
What is AI agent? Okay, I will answer these questions step by step and make it very clear. The difference between a chat bot and an agent, okay? Chatbot is just an AI tool that exchanges the conversation and gives you information. That's it. That's all about a chatbot. An agent does action without the human interference. Like, let's say, for example, I'm having a chatbot in a hospital, and that chatbot is like a receptionist. Okay, you want to book an appointment with the dentist at 7 p.m. Okay, now you're asking a question over here. Hey, I would like to know whether the dentist is available in your hospital at this point in time. It goes and checks the availability of the doctors within the hospital and gives you the available slots and asks you to prefer a slot. Okay, if the available time 7 p.m. is there, you will click on that 7 p.m. availability and automatically the appointment is booked. This is a simple example of what we refer to as agents. So in what all scenarios you could use agents? You could see here that we have used agents in TeamAcademy for testing out in so many different contexts. These are all the TeamAcademy projects, but still do remember that these were all created on the requirements of our students, right? Our students were in many organizations in Saudi Royal Embassy, in so many different places. They wanted to kind of use an agent to look into maybe about 1,500 files within their organization and assess the risk of a specific climatic situation. These are all what we call it as secured AI implementation within the organization, right? You could develop secured AI implementation within the organization using copilots, using Azure AI. But even before I get there, do you understand the difference between agent and bots? Bots gives you only information. Agent will actually process the information and take an action on the end user's behalf. So you're augmenting, let's say, for example, if a bot is giving only information.
Yeah, for us, we have study rooms.
Yeah.
We have slots.
Exactly.
Booking slots. So we can use AI agent to use that.
Exactly. You could use AI agents to do that. You could use AI agents to create documents, to sort documents, to analyze risk in specific documents. As you could see over here, this is called a Copilot. This is a secured AI agent that has been implemented within TeamAcademy interface. When I mean by TeamAcademy interface, I mean to say, like, just like how you have your Microsoft Office Outlook, in just a couple of months to go, everybody will be loaded with Copilot. The only secured way of implementing AI is now proven to be Microsoft Azure. Okay, guys, please note that we are slowly moving from the first objective to the second objective. The first objective, for you to be personally productive in AI, to learn all the prompt engineering techniques. Will it help my business? The answer is no. The next step that you would actually need to look at it is that how do you create instructions for the agent so that it will behave and it will respond on your behalf when you are sleeping, or let's say when you're busy doing the other tasks, right? Let's say, for instance, this is one of the agent over here. It's called as a tail agent. What it does is that it takes actions based on the user responses. There are several topics based on which we have trained the bot. There are several knowledges that there are several knowledge source that we have trained.
We develop the AI agents.
We develop the AI agents. The objective of this course is that each one of you will end up in preparing like maybe a couple of agents to automate your business process. As a certified AI business practitioner, I've already implemented AI with practical reality in many organizations. Okay, how do I get started? I will look at a specific business process from the end, from the initial step to the last point. Like, we got doctors joining in the last class who has automated the appointment booking system for their hospitals. We got pharmacists joining our class who is creating records of pharmacological medicinal records to help the doctors with finding the right medicines, right? There are plenty of use cases, but it all starts with how do you define your instructions? How do you tailor your knowledge source? What is the best practices around defining the instructions? And how do you make the brain to think and work the way you need? Okay. Now, the first topic of LLM, let's assume that it's completed. The second topic, about how do you implement AI within Qatar Energy, within Qatar Airways, within, let's say, for example, a library, within, let's say, for example, a university. We have implemented AI for TechnoQ here, which is a CCTV vendor. We have implemented AI for Abdullah Abdul Ghani Motors, which is actually like a firm which is selling the cars, and we wanted to make sure their MRO is kind of automated. So there are a lot of business related scenarios we will implement, right? Let's assume that I got a lot of SharePoint websites which contains tons of documents within my organization. I wanted to make sure the AI looks into all these SharePoint sites. Let's say you got a SharePoint site, you're starting off with a project, okay? You got your contract documents in there, you got your SOW in there, you got your risk assessment in there. You want AI to know about all these things. And the best part is that you don't want it to make it secure. You don't want it to make it public in ChatGPT. Nobody will, ChatGPT is good only for our personal productivity. If I go to my organization and say that I'll implement ChatGPT in the company, it doesn't make sense. So we need to have a secure AI implementation, which we will learn as part of the class. So you would be able to tailor, and you would be able to add knowledge based on SharePoint. You could add knowledge based on Microsoft Fabric. You could add knowledge based on your ERP, CRM. Each of these has its own knowledge source, and it has its own types, right? Now, when I actually go ahead and publish this agent over here and test this agent, I would be able to say that, can you pick up something from my, let's say, I would like to know what are the risks related personas in our SharePoint site, Guys, you don't have to worry about the spelling mistakes. One good thing is AI will automatically take care of these spelling mistakes, right? And please note that it's a complete no-code program. So you would learn how to do all of these things by crawling your SharePoint sites and getting to do an analysis, making it completely virtually augmented. We will learn each of these steps over here. So this is an AI bot. What it does is it crawls through your SharePoint site, your OneDrive folders. It crawls through your PPT and gives you specific answer. Think about the practical scenario, right? You're a project manager. You want to augment AI in a specific project management context where you upload all the documents. You want the people who are working in risk management to access this. You want the people who are working in finance to access this. You want the people who are planning your projects to access this. You created a central repository and you created a virtual augmented project manager bot that has its knowledge taken from the SharePoint site and the instructions given by you. How do you create these instructions? We will discuss in the class in detail about how do you create instructions, how do you set up the temperature, how do you make sure that the AI is not answering everything in the world, but specific to my project and specific to my context. Okay, guys? So the first part is about prompt engineering for your personal productivity. The second part is about how do you look at the AI business practitioner implementation within your organization. When I go for AI implementation within any organization, what do? I look at all the business processes, okay? What are the data analytics process that could be automated? What are the other items which could add value to the organization? Like, it could be augmented or automated. What is the difference between augmented and automated? Augmented is nothing but, I'm a financial specialist. I want you to act as the second brainer, being as the world's best financial specialist, and give me suggestions in terms of whether I'm doing things good or bad. This is augmentation, right? What is automation? I would let you to respond to all the customer queries and you will handle all the information by yourself. In both of these scenarios, you need to treat AI just like your kids. Okay? What do I mean by treating it like a kids? Your kids will perform better, not just by learning the books, but by applying what exactly happens in the books, right? So AI is similar to that. You need to train the model with all these books and knowledge sources, which is part one. And you need to make the AI to respond, behave, and articulate in a specific manner, which is actually called as your instructions. When the combination of these two things comes into picture, your AI agent or your AI bot is created, and you could deploy that in your Microsoft Teams. You could deploy that in your telephonic calls as well. You could deploy that in your email, so that, whenever my chief executive officer receives an email, AI automatically goes and looks into all the email contents, prepares the response, and keep it in the draft mode, so that I can come and check my draft. And if everything is good as per AI, I will just click on the enter button, right? So I could use the same exact agent to be deployed in a direct line speech, which means that I can have a conversation call with TeamAcademy or with your agent, with your customer care, and the customer care will be completely be agentic with conversations from the customers, right? In this case, you need to learn what is called as text completion models, right? We will be exploring all of these. You can deploy mobile apps. You can deploy a simple chatbot in your custom website. You could go ahead and integrate it with your Microsoft Teams. This is what I did, because Microsoft Teams is already known and it is pretty easy for us to implement, right? You could have a demo website as well. There are pretty much many things that we can do over here, but we will go step by step in this scenario, making sure your AI is specific to your business process, specific to your department, specific to your instructions. If anyone is asking a question about is chicken dum biryani good or chicken biryani is good, it will not give the answers. Why? Because you told the bot that you need to think like a project manager and you need to work only on these specific documents. Don't talk about everything in the world where you get answers just like how you chat in your chat GPT. You get answers without AI.
Create an AI agent, because I am in a search committee and I will be getting a lot of resumes.
You can create resumes. Yeah.
So based on that, I can analyze and I have to
Exactly.
give feedback.
Exactly. You can do that, ma'am. There is no doubts about it. We have seen people from so many different domains. That's the reason why we created a vast array of personas over here. I've been working on this AI with full of my passion for the last so many years. I've already taken the what you could see towards the left side. These are all the resources which I've spent day and night to get it done. I would say these are all the augmented brains, right? So you got like tax consultant, you got like supply chain consultant, you got like project manager. There's so many augmentation frameworks we have created over here. One of the augmentation framework that you're talking about is, I want to be as part of the research committee, or I want to be part of the recruitment committee, analyze the resume and tailor out what is the best fit resume for this specific job application. This is A. You could also prepare resumes that could bypass the AI filter. You could do either way, right? We will learn each of these things as we go into the detail. But guys, please remember that the first step is only to for your personal productivity. The second step is how to implement AI in a secured environment like this. Remember that when the kid is born, when the AI is born, you just have, maybe a lot of questions might not be answered. Like, let's say, for example, can you implement ISO 31000 standards in this bot, in this knowledge? You wouldn't get an answer for this specific instance, because I did not train the bot with ISO 31000 standards, right? If I want the bot to learn the specific ISO 31000 standards, I will go ahead and add skills to the bot. I will go ahead and add skills to the bot, right? You can actually go ahead and make knowledge. You can add knowledge over here. You can add skills to the bot, like just like how if your kid is not doing well in math, you put him in a tuition, right? This is nothing but you can evaluate how your agents are performing, and you can fine tune the agent over a period of time, right? Guys, you might be wondering that it's an IT related role, but this is whatever that I'm talking about is not an IT related role. AI is predominantly for business users and also for IT users, but I would say predominantly for AI is for for business users. I've seen people who are from I've completed more than 16 batches in artificial intelligence over the period of last 2 years, securely implementing AI in a couple of organizations. I've seen people who are dentists, who are pharmacists, who are marketing managers, who are sales manager, financial consultant, project managers. The next important thing comes into picture. I wanted to start an AI business. I want to start an AI consultancy firm. I wanted to utilize AI in my website. I'm not talking about AI anywhere else. I wanted to implement AI in my website. Okay. We are slowly moving on to the third core objective of the training program. Do note that I'm giving you only a high level overview for today's class. The first objective is all about productivity. The second objective is about personal, business implementation. The third objective is actually for you to go ahead and implement AI for making money, right? I've seen people making money with AI, and also it depends on how much of curiosity and how much of interest and passion you have with AI. So this is called as TeamAcademy.ai. It's actually a simple showcase for the students on how they could monetize AI. You could create agents over here. I've kept some of the agents which is like not really well trained, but you could create something like this as your let's say as a receptionist for your hospital, or let's say as a sales agent for TeamAcademy, or let's say a front-facing user interface, right? This is your personal assistant. You could hard code your topics over here so that the customer comes into picture and asks a question about what are the services that you provide? Can I prepare a blog out of it? Can I get started with ABC? You could prepare your personal assistants, right? You could monetize AI. That's the third part, guys. The third type of people who come for the training program, entrepreneurs like me, small, medium business owners who wants to improve the existing business functions, right? For these people, what is very important? I want to keep a chatbot within my website which can answer all the questions that my students have or my customers have. I want to create a personal assistant that can help me, that can help our customers. Or let's say, for example, I wanted to come up with a simple image generator, which could generate images on its own. We have tested all these monetization related stuff, right? I saw Adarsh being so innovative that what he did is that, he took the image of the farm, the fingerprint, or what do you call this? Is not palm print, right? And asks, how does my future looks like? Can you think like an astrologer and tell me how does my future like? So, oh, I'm sorry, your future doesn't look that promising. That's the answer from AI. It clearly decodes what is your health line, what is your heart line, what is your relationship line, what is your money line. So think about it. You could create a bot, you could create an app
So
that can
train, because
you should train, you should train. Think about it like
we should feed the
we should feed exactly.
data,
Yeah,
and then
you will get it. Exactly, ma'am. So, now this is all monetization opportunities, right? Let's say as a doctor, I did my MRI scan. I'm doing an interpretation, but how good are you with the interpretation in this specific scenario? It may be correct, it may be wrong. I want to have a second a doctor, which is an AI doctor, which looks into the MRI scan and gives me specific answers related to this, right? I can give you practical examples, guys. My daughter was suffering with this eczema, which is quite common in Qatar, right? We've gone to so many doctors to fix this eczema issue, right? Every doctor gives me different types of eczema related outcomes, right? But unfortunately,
it's common after the COVID.
Yeah, it's common after the COVID. Unfortunately, eczema itself is of 67 different types, and the doctors are not able to classify between one over the other type. So let's say, for example, if I turn my hand backside, take the image of my hand and ask AI, what is the type of eczema issue that I have? It gives specific and clear instructions, right? So now this is a wow factor for the what do you call this as, dermatologists, right? So you could create images over here. You could monetize the bot by, you could start your AI own consultancy firm, that can implement AI in different scenarios and solutions. Like, let's say this is a very simple scenario where, can you prepare a blog post for me, talking about, let's say, Power BI? And I click on generate over here. It automatically generates a blog post. Remember that this is not, the back end is actually OpenAI. And the front end is your monetization window, right? Guys, you could ask me, Dinesh, you could have monetized and made $1 million rather than teaching the students, right? I wouldn't do that. I love teaching. This is my passion, right? And I wanted to make sure that you guys monetize the benefits. You would be rather be able to apply AI in a chronological manner. It could be any different scenarios. I want to use AI within my organization. I want to use AI for my business process improvement. You need to document what is your objectives to accomplish, the near objectives that you want to accomplish with AI. And we begin the first class discussing your expectations that has been set. Then we proceed to prompt engineering. Then we proceed to the Azure AI implementation for secure implementation within your organization. Create AI agents and a framework. Then the last step, we talk about monetization, okay, where you would start making money. But this is not a, I would say this is not a preference or choice for everyone. Most of the people would love to do that, right? I'm working in construction and estimation department. I need large document requests for quotation to upload and give answers for that question. I hope, Mr. Kamlaksh, this is exactly what I was talking about there. You could train all your documentation over here within. Please don't go and train. I've seen a lot of people after attending the classes, they go and upload all the chat GPT, all the documents inside the chat GPT. Your company's data could be breached. Please don't do that. Kamlaksh, I could see a question over here. I'm into construction and working in estimation department. I need large documents, requests for quotation to upload and give me an answer. That's a beautiful case study. So what we did is, in TeamAcademy, we prepared personas. We prepared personas specific to project initiation. We prepared personas specific to project planning, where you could take the respective persona, hard code it, connect it with SharePoint, and ask specific questions related to your contracting process. Yes, Kamalaksh, you would get the appropriate answers. What you have just given is a very good case study. We will be discussing this one. This is, in fact, the practical requirement of the people within the organization, right? I have like tons of documents. I have like tons of library references. I wanted to have AI bot to guide me through in my library, which books I need to study for which topic and which subject, and guide me through the racks and rows specific to this, right? You can get that thing done. What I did late off is that I augmented myself, okay, because, when I'm sleeping, I get tons of questions from my staff. How do I do this A? How do I do this B? How do I do this C? How many times I need to tell you the same thing again and again? It's like sometimes reinforcing the same concept again and again. It's so boring for leaders or for managers. So what I did over here is I augmented myself. The last so many months of a conversation has been uploaded and trained in the model. So this bot thinks just like me, even if I'm sleeping. I got 17 people in TeamAcademy working on different technology projects. Let's say, for example, what is the Shopify structure Dinesh asked to implement? Okay, instead of asking me, you could ask the bot, and what exactly the bot does. In this scenario, I would call it as a bot rather not a agent. So you need to differentiate between agent and bot. We will prepare both agents and bots. Okay, so you could see here that global storefront strategy, teamacademy.com, and we got the regional website specific to every region, and we have the prices for each of these things. I got a complete clear idea. It's not from the large language model. It is based on the instructions that I have hard coded, or I would say the instructions that I've given over here, and the documents that I have uploaded for the last so many months, what exactly Dinesh notes are. So this is a bot which is augmenting a person, isn't it? Likewise, this person could be a data scientist. This person could be a business analyst. This person could be a permaculture specialist. Okay, I do a lot of permaculture related projects way back in India. I've been struggling with one of the broken land to find out what is the best tree that suits that land, right? I've been troubleshooting this for so many years, spending so much of millions in Indian rupees. Finally, I took the image of the sand profile and I asked, what is the best tree to be planted in this region? And it gives me exactly the same answer of what was my result after 10 years of research in that broken land. Okay, connecting your primary data with secondary data is more sophisticated with artificial intelligence. You need to know the art of how do you do that? How do you define instructions? And do remember that when you give your instructions, will AI be good with that? I got a couple of people from the research and domain asking me for educational transcript blogs. A lot of agents that we have created, right? And we also do the question that Kamalaksh asked. I want to keep all the files over here. These are my project files. I want to make an instruction and I want to ask questions over here. You could tailor this, Mr. Kamalaksh, either with OpenAI or with your Azure AI portal, right? I will take you through in detail with Azure AI, but for time being, I don't want you to get started with Azure and get a little bit stressed out. We will slowly get started with what is called as platform.openai.com. How do you develop your OpenAI assistants? How do you connect these assistants with the rest of the things? But guys, remember only one thing. When you are saying that you wanted AI to be augmented or automated, you're making a person to talk to your stakeholders, right? Let's say, for example, you hire a sales staff. You need to train the sales staff for 3 months in order for him to respond to the customers. This is your first step. Will the sales agent be always good? The answer is no. He might not be able to handle questions related to something that he is not aware about, right? In that scenario, you need to go ahead and evaluate what are the different conversation that has happened over a period of time. What are the answers that the bot or the agent was not able to give? And I need to fine tune and evaluate the model. So just like when the baby is born, it's not highly skillful. You need to train the baby AI to make it think like a more matured AI person, right? This is all about how do you fine tune and how do you evaluate your models. This is also covered as part of the training program. We will understand what these essential scenarios mean. How do you configure your assistants? And I configured assistants in different scenarios for different objectives. How do you actually set up your temperature? How do you set up your top P? And all about thinking how you will fine tune that brain to make it work the way it is expected to. That's your third objective, right? Get AI to be monetized. You got only 3 simple objectives. I'm sure if I walk you through the modules, it might be a little confusing, but if you understand what exactly is the outcome here: personal productivity, secured AI implementation as a certified business practitioner within your organization. The third thing is, how do you implement AI for your business efficiency and your business productivity? Augmentation and automation. These are the 3 core the 3 core topics or the 3 core objectives you will learn in different scenarios, right? We'll take a lot of examples related to Copilot, related to Azure AI. You will be getting 2 certifications as part of this training program. One from Microsoft directly for Azure AI Business Practitioner, and another one from CPD UK. Again, the CPD UK certification is given to you when you complete your training program. You're able to prepare an agent or you're able to prepare a bot. Okay, the agent could be something very similar like a librarian. The agent could be a lesson plan generator. The agent could be an appointment booking bot. The agent could be anything for that sake, or you would create a bot, right? I would advise you to create agents because agents are more interesting. When you go and create agents, you will learn, wow, I could do A and then process it to B, and then I can take over from A to B, right? So you would create multi-agents bot over here with defined instructions and how exactly to create actions over here. We will learn each of these steps in terms of configuring the AI. Is it difficult? The answer is no. Is it easy? The answer is no.
So we can create an app.
You can create an app. This is what I showed you, know. With Copilot, you can create an app. You can create a mobile app with, you can create an AI app, just like how Kamalaksh was asking a question. I want to create an app specifically for construction where the bot needs to help me for my estimation and planning, for my risk analysis, for my health and safety analysis. I would be able to create a mobile app, and I can deploy it in channels that I need. This is exactly what we will learn, right? Because you might ask me a question, did we implemented AI in a TeamAcademy? Yes, we did implement it. We did implement it in a help center. If you guys would like to test out how a WhatsApp bot works, like, I can share the contact number as well, 775 8695. Okay, I shared with you one of the contact number in the Zoom chat. You could just ask this bot any question related to TeamAcademy. It kind of goes in autopilot. 777 775 8695. This is a WhatsApp automated bot. Likewise, we 777 8695, ma'am. I've given that in the, so you could ask questions to this bot, right? Likewise, you could do the implementation around Azure and things like that, guys. So now is the time for Q&A. I would appreciate, you might have a lot of curiosity related questions. Hey, Dinesh, is it possible to implement AI in this scenario? Does AI holds promising job opportunity for the future? Okay, I've seen that in many organizations, they are now taking steps towards Azure AI implementation. There are many firms at a small medium business level taking an implementation towards AI for practical business case implementation. The many organizations were struggling with tons of documentation, and they wanted to automate the business process, right? You can implement AI in each of these scenarios. We have like tons of case studies that we will be discussing as part of the program. But these are the basic modules. Start with prompt engineering, proceed to analytics, go to risk assessment, develop conversational AI agents and AI bots, then go for business process automation using OpenAI and Azure AI. Understand about the pricing strategy. If they ask you how much would it cost for me to implement AI, you should be able to know as a, right? That's the overall modules and objectives, guys. I took exactly 1 hour of your time, and I thank you so much for patiently listening to me. I'm sorry if I was boring, and I'm grateful if you have got some very good important message for your future expedition with AI. I will be more than happy to answer specific questions that you might have. Please go ahead, guys. You could feel free, feel TeamAcademy as your home and ask questions, no problem.
Yeah, Dinesh Fazal this side. It sounds very interesting for me. Like I'm into sales, and for me, like if you can provide me an example, like as a sales agent, how it goes. So as an example, so it would be really grateful.
Dear sales agent, classical example is our TeamAcademy bot itself, dear. We have deployed a bot and in the TeamAcademy agent. You could see the answers over here. This is specifically tailored with the sales flow. Okay, there are many things that we can do with sales. Okay, you could deploy a bot in WhatsApp or in website. Okay, to have the customers go through a sales process. You could connect your existing ERP inside the sales analytics processing bot to understand what are the different types of customers, in what pipeline are they in the bots, right? In the framework. You could develop sales related forecast with AI based on the demand and what is the pattern of your demand for the last consecutive years. You can project using machine learning models to understand how do I need to pitch my sales. So agentic in terms of helping your sales team internally, you could create a bot within your team to help your sales professionals to get all the information at fingertips using AI related bots. You could make your quick replies and stuff like that for the sales agent. You could even have let's say, for example, there is a class at 6 p.m. I want to remind you. I've seen our staff doing it. I don't want our staff to do it. I want the bot to automatically call and remind, right? You could do a lot of scenarios over here. For each of these questions that you ask, Faisal, I would say I have a very detailed case study and detailed implementation plan as well, specific to sales, project management, construction, finance, and stuff like that. I will give you the complete, because I would say more of like in the class, we will discuss about how to get along with AI. And when you refer back to your learning management system portal, we have did detailed case studies for marketing, detailed case studies for sales, and we will be able to contribute over here from the internship perspective as well. We'll take specific case studies, and you should ask me even more specific questions, Fazal. In my company, I want to sort out this process. How do I do it? Because I don't know. Is it a sales for yourself? Is it a sales for your company? Is it a sales for XYZ? Depending on that, the implementation will differ. If I want to do sales for myself, I'll go ahead with WhatsApp. I'll go ahead with Facebook, Meta, Instagram. I'll go ahead with so many different channels. But if it is for my organization, I need to look at Copilot and secure the conversation through different actions, right? So when you ask me even more specific questions, Fazil, I would be able to guide you through in a better way in terms of how you could implement it for sales. Is it clear, Fazil?
Yeah, as a holistic view, you have gave me a very clear picture. But yes,
Yeah.
to narrow down the question very specific, internally there are different metrics, externally there are different metrics. So it's a long story again. It has to be like more like one-on-one, and we have to navigate into more specific. Yeah.
Exactly,
But
dear.
as a holistic, yes, you answered my question. Really good.
Very
Fantastic.
good. For today's class, it's holistic understanding. As we go along, we will understand, the most important thing is what is a large language model? What are actually called as custom GPTs? Custom GPTs can help you for your internal sales process and internal teams, right? You would develop monetization AI for your external customer facing entities. So we will actually discover each of these things in detail, how to tailor your LLMs specific to sales or marketing or finance. Internally, what should I do? Externally, what you should do. Internally, you might have custom GPTs to help you with the business process. Externally, the agent or bot is facing the stakeholders and customers. We should differentiate that. At this point in time, I can give you only a high-end overview. When we get to the training program, I will discuss with each one of you personally to understand what your objectives are, and I will tailor solutions specifically for you. I connect with almost all the students on a personal basis because we got different objectives and different aims to satisfy over here. We will be looking at it in detail, Mr. Fazal. But thank you for your question. Any other questions from anybody else in the class, or are we good to close today's class and get started with the AI program? The program will be only on Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. starting from starting as quick as possible from next week or maybe next to next week, depending on the admissions and enrollments. Yeah.
I thought it will start immediately.
Yeah, we will start it immediately. I mean, like next Saturday we can start. If at all we need to have more participants, we will kind of have a break. Yeah, we'll start next week. I think that's more practical and more realistic as well. Every Saturdays between 6 to 9:30 is the training program. And 6 to 9, I would say, not even 9:30, because 6 to 9 or That's the best time. You don't need more time to be spent in the training program. It's more about application logics and how do you get started with AI. So it's 6 to 9.
Mostly it is, practical session.
It's all practical session, guys. Today, I'm just walking you through how I did it. And in the class, you will learn how to do it, right? So it's more of like practice in terms of how do you get started with each of these things. What if you don't have Microsoft? Suvaid, if you don't have Microsoft, you don't have to worry about it, dear. I will get you access to platform.openai.com, or you should have your pro account. All these will follow the same logic and you would be able to test out your scenarios. In your company, you will use Azure. In your personal productivity, you will use custom GPT or OpenAI platform. Even if you don't have Microsoft Azure account, you don't have to worry about it. I will help you to give those lab environment for you to test out things and come up with the proper outcomes of creating agents and creating chatbots. Okay, guys, very good. Any other questions from anyone else? I got real productive questions from the students over here.
I have one thing. How much?
Yes, you need to all have. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah.
How much I need to spend for this buying this softwares or apps?
Dear, when I started this training program, I was actually giving tools and I know this is the top 10 tool, what it can do and stuff like that. Now, no more products. We are getting to the real practical benefits of AI, right? You don't have to spend anything more than $20 a month for your ChatGPT Pro subscription. Okay, this is the only requirement. When you get your ChatGPT Pro subscription, that by itself is more than sufficient. When you are practicing Microsoft Azure environment, I will give you lab environment from Microsoft Azure directly, which is a test environment where you can test it out. And that's kind of like from learn.microsoft.com.
If I buy it for myself, how much?
$20 a month.
That is
enough.
Yeah.
For Azure, you don't. For Azure, you don't have to purchase it, ma'am, because Azure needs your company account. It needs so many different things. Azure, you will test it in your company itself. Yes, dear, go ahead with your questions, please.
I got confused. My documents where I will upload and how GPT will access that.
You will upload the documents. If you want to securely upload your documents, you will upload it in SharePoint and you will connect it with your SharePoint if at all you wanted to do secure implementation. For example, here I have a bot and I have a SharePoint website where I uploaded all my document toolkits. You would connect with SharePoint and you would be able to get the ball up and running. Clear, dear? I have let's say this is a project management SharePoint site where I have all my repositories. I take this and I go to my knowledge bot and I train this knowledge bot over here. I've already added this to the knowledge source, which is why it is not accepting, but you could keep all your files in SharePoint and train it with Copilot. If you don't want this scenario to occur, you will go ahead and upload your project files as a project within ChatGPT or within custom GPT or with platform.openai.com and specifically make your bot to that respective files and folders and those instructions that you give, right? From the sales perspective, you could also give instructions with the bot. If the customer is price oriented, try to give them some offers. These are all like agentic instructions that you will develop over a period of time. But I believe I answered your questions. You would give this a lot. Yes, dear, you could connect with GitHub as well, but not mandatory. You could connect with GitHub, but I would prefer SharePoint, OneDrive, and your traditional sources within your organization for secure AI implementation. You can directly connect your OneDrive also from your company folders and files, either in OpenAI or in Microsoft. Both of them are actually same only, but you can get it from OneDrive. You can get it from all these different sources and train your bot. Clear, guys? Clear? I hope I answered your question, dear.
Hi,
Very good.
Orange. Hi.
Yeah, hi, Ranganath Shetty. Tell me, dear, how can I help you?
My friend, the session was good, fantastic. Really thank you for inviting me and making part of it. And definitely wish to continue with it and then see in the future, how this works for us. I'm sure, there's a great scope in AI and then it's going to help all of us.
Yes.
Currently, I have a subscription with Microsoft Copilot Pro version. So is that okay to continue? And I have Perplexity Pro also with me.
Perplexity not required. Perplexity, the thing is, Perplexity is really cool, very good. Okay, I don't disagree with that. But how many tools you can purchase and how many tools you can actually get subscription to? It practically doesn't add value, right? Let's say, for example, these days, what I'm doing is, even if I wanted to kind of come up with any different objectives, I go with the Chat GPT and Copilot. The Copilot, again, I'm not talking about personal Copilot, okay? It's not that really good. You could go for Copilot with Microsoft Copilot Studio. There is a lot of confusion around Copilot. They call everything as Copilot.
Correct.
Yeah. So we will get a clarity around this. The first class itself is all about clarity. What is what and how do we get started, right? Because there is like tons of clarity. We will get started with clarity. You need Copilot Studio, which actually prepares agents and bots, not really the Copilot Personal that helps you to prepare your PowerPoint presentation and come up with advanced Excel formulas and things like that. It's not really that worth it because it asks you for a lot and you don't get that real benefits there. So I will guide you the right way. From an enterprise perspective, you have been asked a task to give me a task of how much would AI implementation cost you? I will guide you for your personal and also for your business implementation, the pricing strategies that will give you enough clarity in terms of how do you get started. Okay.
Perfect.
Very good. We will, because I kept this pricing strategy as one of the core modules in the in the lesson plan. It's just that I don't want to show everything. We got like machine learning models which can help you to predict your patterns in future. This is like the most important and interesting thing as part of the program. You would learn prescriptive analytics. You will learn predictive analytics. You will learn how to do bot creation. There are so many bots that has already been prepared by the students, which is on the showcase. You would need to learn how, what are these pricing models? This is what I mean by pricing models. This is a common answer to everybody, right? If you want to use it for free, you don't get to understand what is AI at all. The moment you start paying pro version, you can use prompting with personas, instructions, and knowledge. You can promote your business, but you can't make it agentic, right? If you go for Teams plan, you can have secure knowledge source within your organization to get the things done. When you want to monetize and implement it for your business, it is per transaction. It is not that costly, dear. I would say business transactions are even more cheaper than the personal. The best part about ChatGPT, they are not too costly. It's just that you need to understand what is called as tokenization. How do they calculate the pricing? So you will be good enough to comment within your organization what exactly is the pricing model. How do you get started with the pricing model? We will go ahead with that, dear. I will ensure you get enough clarity from the personal and also a professional context about the pricing strategies. Okay, I'll take it more in detail over there. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Nowadays, what we can do is we can actually create AI videos also from just the search. Like, let's say, for example, I wanted to make a AI video over here. Let's say Adarsh and Tamanna dancing in dancing in a nice valley with green, green structures, green landscape, so just hit enter over here. You could prepare your videos, right? So let's say these days you could prepare the complete end-to-end video. If you're a video grapher, it's kind of very beneficial for you to get started with each of these things. We'll go slowly one by one, guys. As we go along with the program, there is a lot to explore. Image generation, image analysis, anomaly detection for business. What are the common anomalies that we are detecting? What are the risks that we are encountering in this documentation? What are the numbers that we need to crunch and stuff like that? We will go step by step, dear, and that will be quite interesting as we go along the journey. Thank you so much for that. Great questions. Anyone else in the class has questions? Kamaksh, I hope your questions are answered related to the estimation and planning. There are like comprehensive documentation related to personas and prompting. So we will give you all these details as we go along with the class, guys. There is like tons of documentation and tons of materials. It's just that we need to be very clear about what, when. That's exactly where we are successful in the implementation. Clear?
Mr. Dinesh, just a very simple one more question, puzzle this side. If you can give me the modules, like because I prefer to choose what I want, and the fee structure, it will be really grateful if I can get this.
No, dear. Dear, there is no specific preferences over here in terms of what are the modules that comes into picture and what is, I told you that there are 3 objectives, right? These are the modules that will be covered as part of the program. You don't have to selectively choose any of the modules because I will be having a very sequential link between each of these things. The program is not also very costly for the worth of materials and the interaction and the practical outcomes that you will get. You will get started with basic prompt engineering and you will go for advanced prompting techniques. You might assume that I know prompt engineering and I know how to ask questions, but there is a lot that we don't know. What is called as variable prompting, contextual prompting, X, Y, and Z. That's the first module. The second module is about Gen AI analytics for managers. The third module is about risk assessment, governance, and documentation. Especially with documentation, we go pretty much in detail. The fourth module is about how do you prepare conversational AI bots. The fifth module is about how do you monetize and make it for your business process automation. Finally, you will learn the pricing models. These are the 6 modules and it is mandatory for a business practitioner to go through in this specific manner. Pretty much I gave you all the technical know-hows. It's just that we need to follow the best practice as it is expected so that you're not stuck in the middle and you're able to implement as per the best practices so that these 6 modules can be comprehensive here. Only 6 modules. That's it.
It makes sense, and it's I can connect, like it's interdependent on one and another.
Exactly.
It's like it's a chain process. But if you don't mind, can you please let me know the duration? Because the thing is, like, we have a business season. According to that,
I understand, dear. The schedule is very simple. Only Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. starting from next week, the continuous 6 weeks. Let's say, for example, if you think about AI, like don't take too much of tension and pressure. We have seen some of the students who join the training program and they, if you miss the class, every word I speak is already recorded in read.ai. Okay. So you will get the recorded video lecture as well. 6 modules, 6 weeks, dear. Pretty straightforward and simple. 7th week where you will come and demonstrate your capabilities. And starting from the 7th week is where you will onboard for internship project and you will continue, right? So I would say this is not a course or a training course. It's a program. We got a lot of interns working on different objectives as well, guided through my instructions and best practices. So 6 weeks is something that you have it in your bucket on every Saturday starting from next week, dear. Is it clear?
So you will help us to develop for our business.
I will help you to develop for your business agents or chatbots that you will come and display in the class. This is what previously all the students did. I got a professor from Bahrain who developed a lesson plan generator for all her university students, right? She developed an analogy bot for all her class lectures. So according to your business context, you will develop an AI agent or a chatbot and display in the last class. That's the 7th week. So 6 weeks straightforward, Mr. Fazal. Clear, dear?
Yeah, super clear and excited, looking forward.
Sure. You're more than welcome. I still did not get the video log of my prompt over here. I will share with you you will get a follow-up message from me tomorrow along with the recorded video here and some useful notes for you to get started. I will share the program brochure, the program roadmap, and how do you get started with this as a WhatsApp message to one and all by tomorrow. Okay.
Sounds great. Great. Thank you.
Very good. I will put it in my marketing and sales team to send a follow-up message to all the students from my personal number. They will send you the read.ai recorded video lecture. And also any questions, you can reach out to me directly. See, I don't mind even if you join the program, you don't join the program. My objective is to teach and implement technology solutions. This is like my two different passions. So I'm a kind of a person working towards the passion. So you could get in touch with me for any reason where you have a technology thirst or you wanted to kind of implement it within your organization for full-blown productivity, and we will look at it very much in detail. Okay, very good. Sajesh Kumar. All right, Suwaid, Salim, Ranganath, Fazal. Yes, dear. Okay, if you don't have any questions, it's fine. Yeah, tell me, dear.
Okay, Dinesh, I am driving at the moment. I will reach out to you maybe later in the day, maybe in an hour or
problem.
two. Okay,
no
because
problem.
I have something which I just need to know regarding how the thesis writing, how AI is applied in the PMO as well as the facilities management. Few things I just wanted to discuss with you. Okay, I'll give you a call maybe.
Yeah, sure. This will also be discussed next week, dear. Next week, Saturday, we get started with this. I have already developed a complete...
From the management point of view.
From the management point of view, I have already took the personas for each and every PMO related task. This is something that I have worked personally in detail. There was a course called as Gen AI PMP. What we did is we prepared generative AI, Gen AI PMP, right? As part of this program, I ended up preparing the complete personas, instructions, and augmenting a virtual PMO. This is something that we got as an expertise. You could discuss later with me about it. This specific program, I took a lot of time to prepare the materials and come up with a augmented and a virtual PMO framework for project management specifically. How do you do prompt engineering and stuff like that? You could get in touch with me either personally or I will share that. I will share the contact. I'll share a message with you so that you can get in touch, dear. No problem at all. Yeah, sure. We will
I'll
be
give you a
looking
call in 2 hours.
Sure. Take your time. Don't drive and listen. It's okay. I'm here. No problem. You're welcome.
Mr. Dinesh, just a quick note from my side.
Tell me, dear.
Because I have a very good touch when it comes to AI and the technology world. So going through your demo, I'm super impressed. It might sound to some other user that I'm trying to brag and appreciate more about you, but genuinely, I'm very much thankful to you. There are a lot of things I can connect with you and learn, and I can do a lot of improvement in my business. And also, I'm like a investor, not a trader, I would say, in the stock market. Yeah.
Stock market.
Even in those things, I can take the best help from you. So from me upfront, I'm saying I'm in, and I'm super excited. I will be waiting every Saturday to connect with you 6 to 9.
Sure.
A thanking note from me, and signing off.
Thank you.
Have a lovely day.
Thank you so much for your compliments, and it is my pleasure to, when we get such type of compliments, we are really motivated because this is a new field. It's a new era. When I was troubleshooting with Microsoft related problems, even Microsoft doesn't have a clue about how they are going to integrate all of these things together, right? It's a new technology. It's like you guys are taking the forefront. You would see a lot of outcomes as you go along the way, and getting to AI and BI skill sets, it's like super productive, and we will get started with all these different examples and stuff, right? Related to PMO, related to so many different things. We'll go there to the class and get started, guys. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening, and I'll meet you next week, Saturday at 6 p.m. Thank you, guys. Take care. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye, dear. Take care.